Mr. Trey wanted to talk about the anniversary of what year is
Yes,
it, Trey, for the Million
38th.
Man March?
it is the 28th
Wait,
anniversary of the Million Man March. Awesome. Nothing but power. Nothing but nothing but power. Mm.
the free promo. Fucks with
Hey, if y'all want us to sponsor stuff, y'all make sure y'all hit us up too, man.
Ain't that
Y'all hit
right?
us up. Y'all want
Exactly,
something to
man.
sponsor stuff like that, man. Let's sit down.
Uh,
Let's talk business. Get your products and everything out there to the people, man.
Let's go.
Washington's National Mall, the focal point of protests and marches since the 19th century, saw many during the 90s. 750,000 demonstrators at the 1992 March for Women's Lives, and in 1993, nearly 1 million people marching for gay rights. But no 90s march attracted more attention than the Million Man March in 1995.
Everybody wondered what that would be like. A million men, African American men,
Black
on the
men.
mall.
I'm here for the unity part of it, and I'm here because I'm a responsible black man.
It was organized by Minister Louis Farrakhan, who, as you know, was a very controversial figure at the time.
The minister wanted to talk to 1 million men, to talk to them about responsibility, accountability, family, holding their head up.
I convinced a few of my friends to go just to see what it would be like. Let's just drop this hard shell you've built up and let's just be with each other, enjoy each other's company, meet other black men.
I remember that incredible feeling of brotherhood, and I never seen so many people in my life. I remember leaving there feeling like this was the start of something different.
People were so fearful that African American men were going to flood the nation's capital. Those kinds of attitudes somewhat overshadowed what in fact was a remarkable, peaceful, family-oriented march.
But still, there was controversy.
The debate was about numbers. Were there really 1 million? That was so unfortunate because that was not the point.
I think the Park Service suggested it was around 400,000, but it doesn't matter. It was a huge march. I was there, and what I saw were people saying, "We matter."
For more clips and to watch the full program, visit weta.org/decades.
I'm having to correct white people. So it was actually 1.9 million people that showed up.
Right. Them white women be fact checking, bro. They look at the deets and then
Well, you're not even actually a human. Whatever.
All right, so we got a specific question, or we just going off our feelings and our thoughts about that anniversary?
First of all, we want to clap it up to the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March. Okay. Like, I want to acknowledge the unity, the strength, the power. Yes. Yes. It has never been that large of a group of people who can come together to rally peacefully. There was no homicides. There was no vandalization. There was no anger. There was no threats. There was none of these stereotypical things that people try to say black men are. If you could get a million or more of us in the same setting and none of that happened, go ahead, debunk the myths,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but power. So yeah, I just want to have a little bit of enlightenment towards this. I was given a few points to make out about the Million Man March because we definitely needed. We discussed this off camera. We wanted to celebrate it, but we didn't know clearly what was being celebrated. Besides the fact that a million black men got together. So, what was your thoughts about the Million Man March?
I have a question, a quick question, because I'm learning. I'm learning. I knew about the Million Man March. I didn't know what it's about. I knew about Farrakhan's involvement, but I didn't know what it was for. I mean, I could guess. We was talking about it offline, and I think G brought it up when we think Million Man March. We think Martin Luther King times. I did not.
Yes,
It was
all of
as
us had
recent.
that.
It was as recent as 1995. Is the Million Man March the reason why they call DC the Chocolate City now?
Interested. I don't know.
I don't even know when they started. Yeah, because I don't know when they started calling it. Oh, yeah, so I don't know.
I just
Shine. Get your shine on. Get your shine on, shout it.
Yeah. So, hey, I put this on. I put it on everywhere. Booty cheeks, kneecaps, underarms. I got the vanilla right here. Usually, hey, I got the lavender one. It helped me sleep good. 'Cause I be sleeping like this, and I can smell it off my hands. I'm trying to tell you, feeling good. Y'all better rock with this.
Right.
It's that vanilla. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't being ashy no more. Hygiene. Yeah. Hygiene is important. You need to get your shine. It's hydrating. It's light. It lasts all day. You don't got to use a lot, and it's good from face to foot.
Historically, I don't really use lotion or nothing like that because I'm like in a hybrid, light skin, in between dark skin motherfuckers. Coming back from vacation, I'm a little sunburnt, so I needed something to get my skin back right because I'm feeling like a reptile right now. So I'm gonna get this baby going on when I get home.
Oh, and look, you gotta shine on, everybody. Look, I got like 4 cases. I got a bunch of cases. And I got the big jar too. That's old school. Y'all don't even know about that. He don't even got those no more. But look, I'm telling y'all, this shine is amazing. Help with eczema, clear your skin up, all of that great stuff. So you don't want to miss out on this shine, man. Make sure y'all go get y'all a bottle of this.
All natural ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yep. Where they can find it?
So you can find this at shinecareproducts.com. Let them know that we sent you. Use the code FMF20, get you a discount.
Got to.
I wouldn't think just because it was that day they would call it.
I mean, would you be surprised?
It makes sense though. It makes sense with it being said that they would change it to that.
Yeah. That being said, I think it's commendable. I think it's something our people today can look back on and show them like, yo, if we're gonna come together, this is how it should be. We can't even have high school football games now without somebody threatening to shoot up the place or anything like that. We can't have shit anymore. Because when we come together in a large group, there tends to be violence. But I think it was commendable that there was 1.8 million people?
1.9.
1.9, my bad. 1.9 million people, and for nothing to happen, not even fisticuffs to happen. I think that's very well. I think all I have to say, I think that's something we can learn from in today's society about coming together in large groups, even if it's just going to the club. I know it's not comparable, but we don't have to have violence, man. We don't have to have violence when we get together, and that's why we can't. That's why when we get together, people be looking like, "Oh, what them niggas doing?
What is about to happen?
What's about to happen
over there?"
Yeah, what niggas doing over there? Like, even the white girl seemed a little suspect of the Million Man March. She's like, "What they doing?" But I think it's commendable. We could do that without any violence or any, negative news coming from it. So that's my take on it. I'm learning still about it. So
they tried to spread negative news and tried to dispatch it before it became as broadcast as it did. So they was using, back then it was more black emphasized things, the things that AJ would talk about. We had black news outlets, newspapers, media, radio. We had black, not just stations, but like towers and stuff. Like we had that. So they used that. And then the propaganda, the negativity spread. This is why even bad publicity is good publicity. The propaganda, the the fear mongering spread to the major networks, the white networks, but it still gravitated and garnished the attention. I mean, if you see just 100 people rally, black people at that, black men at that, you can be like, what is going on? And then you can like, if somebody be like, yo, like we all coming together in peace, yo, like it's good, like you come through, like yo, might as well go check it out. Everybody walking up the
We
block.
gonna follow the crowd. Follow the crowd, bro.
And DC became the first large city in the United States to be majority black, earning the moniker Chocolate City, and that was in 1957.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. I
We
want to
learning
say
today.
I want to say with the topic, man, like we said we discussed offline, the need for us to feel like we had to do that, to be heard, to come together. We think about the civil rights movement. Like we said, I thought that was part of the civil rights movement. And
Yeah.
I was 5 years old by that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's crazy.
5 years old. So that's something monumental, but also letting you know, like, yo, like it's a reason we need to come together as well too, and to work on our communities and our families, and work on, like we say, us as men, black men, being, like you said, being held accountable and being responsible, not just for ourselves, but for our families and our communities. So when I think about that march, one, I think about what Keith said about the whole unity aspect, because nowadays we have implanted in us by what we seen and experienced firsthand that, like, yo, when you get a bunch of niggas together, yo, you know something bound to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is proof that it doesn't have to be that way. And so
Right.
that's one thing. But then the part I went to and I want to talk about is the financial aspect of a community. Imagine a million people, black people in our black communities, supporting and helping one another in our businesses, and circulating the money and everything like that. We wouldn't be we can fix our projects. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
got the money, we got the resources. The thing is, we just don't unify to come together to be able to help our situations out for whatever reasons. For
Yes.
whatever reasons out there, but we don't unify to come together. But if you think about that Million Man March, think about all the resources, all the money, all the potential that was there financially that we could use now, and we really could have used back then to help build up our communities. And instead of us talking about what somebody's not giving us, we could have just provided for ourselves. And that's the part, as far as the financial aspect, that I was thinking about, is just like the potential of, if we get a group that large,
Yeah.
that we could come together with the same idea of community building.
Come
What
on.
we could do. And it don't even take a lot of it don't even take like everybody, like a million people that gave $10, that's $10 million. You know what I'm saying? Think about what you could do with that, and what improvements we can make in our communities, and how we can uplift ourselves. That's the part that I was thinking about, and the potential that could still happen down the road as well. So that's what came to my mind when I thought about and celebrated this anniversary.
Yes, sir. You can't have community without communication. Everybody that came out there all was speaking. You had Maya Angelou. It was this one young, powerful bro. He made the most sense. Man, I was watching like the documentaries and stuff, and he made the most sense about standing with your people instead of separating from them. And that was I liked when Farrakhan spoke. He spoke about and like broke down the Willie Lynch letter. Like we all know that Willie Lynch created a letter to all of the slaveholders and potential slaveholders to teach you how to control the Negro, right? But Farrakhan broke it down. He said you control them by putting them against each other. And we don't even notice that we still have this separated mentality. And like he said, like it's the simplest things, the smallest things, but I promise you, if you do this, it's going to be effective for at least 300 years. And it's the light versus dark, the class. Oh, I'm in the house, you in the field. Well, I got a horse. Even after here we are now, and it's like somebody will make it, and now when they make it, they look back like, I made it. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna let you in my house. I can't let you do none of that. Like, nah, bro, it ain't that. Like, we still got that mentality that you're working against. Like, Willie Lynch was a bad man to come up with such a plan. You know what I mean?
It's understanding people.
Why was hey, Millennium's wilding, bro. Millennium's wilding.
I wonder who is this. I want to see.
Hey, shout out to Millenniums. I've seen him in a couple lives watching this.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, bro. You funny.
That'll work on your posture if we come together. Like,
that was questionable. Hey, Paul, watch yourself. Paul, watch yourself.
Pause.
I wanna ask though, why? It might be a little off topic. Why is Farrakhan so controversial? Because every time I hear him speak, it sounds like he just speaking the unapologetic truth about things. Like I'm not.
Let's see.
I'll say my thoughts is he come off as controversial to some people because of delivery. A lot of times we talk about it's not what you say, but how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
When you say stuff in an unapologetic type of way, people that don't resonate with the message can often take offense to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I think and it's usually people of a different skin color.
Religion.
And I think they a lot of times they fear that we gonna act how we were treated before.
Right.
Somebody talking about black unity and black power or whatever like that, they take that and spin that as, oh, you're anti this. Instead of no, we just support our community. We support the people that look like us. We support the areas that we grew up and came from. And so, and we've seen the difference between where we come from and where you come from. So I think the main thing is how he delivers the message. It's like very passionate, straightforward, no filler. And then I think it's also some of it is like when you get people together with a militaristic mindset. Yo, what's up, FMF Mob? What's good, yo? Hey, I want to thank y'all for all the subscribers that we got. We clicked over 100 subscribers, but we looking, man, we need more support. So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Make sure you like the videos and keep showing that support. Y'all take care. And organized and you know have a purpose. It gets scary for a lot of people, man, and it gets scary for society sometimes. So that's what my thoughts are. Why you feel like he controversial?
Yeah, I just came up with 2 topic ideas listening to you talk, Paul. Down.
Yeah, write them down.
About to say, write them down and put it in the chat somewhere.
Yeah,
no, matter of fact, write it in the chat. Trey will write it down because I know you ain't gonna write it down.
I'm writing it down right now, bro. I'm writing it down.
Hey,
Trey,
so
Trey the only one.
While Keith's doing that, G, what's your thoughts about the anniversary, man?
They said, shoot, that means that I was a little kid when that came out. I haven't really done a lot of research on it. Growing up, all I've seen was it was just a whole bunch of Negroes walking down the street. But I know it's more than that. It was probably more that he wanted to organize. I think from my perspective, I just give my perspective on it is that I guess he wanted to prove that that black men can come together. I think that's from what I can see is that you prove like, oh, we can come together and try to be and like the lady said on there, try to come together and be at peace with each other and don't have to fight or show that we can assemble or get along. I mean, I can understand what was the purpose behind it. I know it's probably even a heavier one, but I think that's the main purpose that show that we can all come together. But I still think it's a little sad to see the what's the decrease in it. It's like
trajectory that we've gotten to.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like they can do that, but I wouldn't say that I can predict the future or think that trying to be negative, but I think it'd be hard for something like that to do again now. because I don't see it as much unity as what I saw in that video. People just actually sit down and be able to do something like that. I think we reversed a lot in the last now it's 28 years, almost 30. I think we've decreased in society since then, but it would be awesome if that can happen again. But I don't know. But for the purpose of it and what it meant in '95, I think it was good to at least show it, and we can show it for decades or centuries for our kids to see.
I think it was awesome. Uh, it is an awesome show, though that wasn't the primary reasoning for gathering. It was a call for atonement and reconciliation for the black man. And they laid out that there are 8 steps of atonement, and this goes back to the start of civilization. Like when we created civilization, this was a part of the doctrine. So the 8 steps of atonement: 1, someone must point out the wrong. This is why I say you can't have community without communication, right? Because this is where we're stuck at. We stuck on number 1 in today's society. Now, with my vision and how I'm passionate and stuff, I do believe that we would be able to gather like this in this day and age, even more so, because you look back then, that was the height of like Crips and Bloods and all of that, and they were there, like, and was like, we not on this. And every person that spoke all said that this cannot be a one day thing. When you go home, you need to exude these things that we speaking on. You need to continue this within your community. And there has been a downplay. But like Wes would say, we at war, whether we know it or not. You know, that's one of the things. So it's he said, "Do you have to be black to join?"
No, no, you don't.
To support, nah.
Yeah.
To support, nah.
So the 8 steps of atonement. The first step is someone must point out the wrong, and we are so detached that every one of us on this podcast have stated it. You can point out the wrong, but then somebody else gonna try to just find fault in you, like you did it, but this and that, and then finding excuses and all of that stuff. So, or reacting with anger, which is emotional. Like just that first step is already such the challenge that most of us guys just like. I'm gonna just let you have yours. You go to jail. You get killed. You get beat up. That's on you. I'm gonna just make sure that I'm straight. So we already passed the buck when it comes to the first step. Someone must point out the wrong, right? The second step, and y'all interject anytime y'all want to. Y'all got questions or anything.
I just want to say, if that's the first step of atonement, then we're gonna have to get Brother G to lead the next Million Man March, man.
Yes. That's why Farrakhan was so controversial, because he wasn't afraid to point out the wrong. He'll tell you. Same thing with Shahrazad Ali. Why we love her? Because she pointed out the wrong. She pointed out the wrong in men and women, black men and women, specifically women at the time.
I would get booed off. I would have 80 niggas trying to fight. I would have 80 niggas trying to fight me after I try to step off stage.
That's
a whole bunch
you got the security there.
Exactly.
Security take care of that.
Exactly, bro. Like point out that someone must point out the wrong, but they did. I would just throw this out there. They did say point out the wrong, but it's more so from a loving place. Like it's because I love my people. It's because I want you to do better. It's because I see the wrong and I don't want you to continue being in the wrong. I'm pointing it out. I'm not going to shame you or look down on you or belittle you. So I would point that out. So when we do point out the wrong, then how we point out the wrong, what I'm saying? Like, we could be blunt and brutally honest. Y'all know me. You fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll say it. But That's the first step. Yeah, I think you'll do a great job with that, G. Second step is acknowledgement of the wrong. I say it all the time that you can't solve a problem that you don't acknowledge. You can't change something that you don't see. So acknowledgement of the wrong. So that's the second step. So someone must point out the wrong, whether it's with yourself or somebody pointing it out. Somebody has to point out the wrong. Then the person that was in the wrong has to acknowledge the wrong. You know what I mean? You have to acknowledge that, yeah, I was wrong. Okay. Third step is confess the fault. It says first to Allah, God, or to those who were offended. It becomes a confliction. This is why I tell myself I cannot deal with guilt.
Hey G, get a horn going. Sorry to interrupt you. We're gonna interrupt anytime the bricks come in the chat. That's it.
Exactly, man. Shout out to Rumble, man. Shout out to Rumble.
Oh, you still here? You ain't subscribed yet? Hit that button, my man. Hit that button and subscribe.
Yeah. So the third step is confess the fault, and I'm gonna put all these steps in the chat. We also going to list the steps of atonement in the description when we release this video for all of those who want the clarity, just want it in writing. So the third step is to confess the fault. You must acknowledge, someone must point out the wrong, acknowledge the wrong, confess the fault. First to God, then to those who were offended. The fourth step is repentance, a feeling of remorse or contrition or shame for the past conduct which I was wrong and sinful. The fifth step is atonement. Atonement, and Farrakhan did a wonderful play on the word of atonement, of at one and atone. He did that. So y'all got to. I have to send y'all the video.
Bars.
Bars. Yeah, I thought you said pause. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I
what?
thought you said
Yeah,
bars.
bars, man.
So, hold on, we got another brick. We got another brick in the chat. Give a couple horns for millennials. Yeah, shout out to millennials.
Yes, sir. Shout out to millennials. So the fifth step is atonement, meaning to make amends and reparations for the wrong. And I think this is where we get stuck at when we talk about reparations is like, yeah, we want y'all to atone for y'all wrongdoings. That's past it.
Hey, I know Paul kind of dark, man, but his eyes open, man.
Hey. Why you call out the darkest person? What's up with that?
What's up with
that?
So that's the fifth step is making.
We talking about the Million Man March right now.
Hey, we just got invited to the cookout. You just don't
right,
get offended, man. You just got invited to the cookout, man.
Yeah, I'll say that don't mean you on the grill. Calm down. The fifth step is atonement, meaning to make amends. The sixth step is forgiveness by the offended party, to cease to feel offense and resentment against another for the harm done. I think that this is what I be talking about when it comes to being emotionally intelligent, emotionally inclined, because most of us hold grudges or separate and no, I don't need to talk to you no more and stuff because we don't know how to forgive somebody who has wronged us, whether it was intentional or not. And we like just hold on to it and don't realize like you can do, like you're holding on to weight, like to forgive. It says forgiveness by the offended party. If they choose not to forgive you after you've tried to make amends and you've acknowledged your wrong, that's on that person. As long as you take that action. And this is to cease to feel offense. Like you still offended by something I did in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like after I tried to apologize, I asked for forgiveness. I did something in the sense of what you said would need to be done in order to reprimand the situation. Then I can't go any further for you, but I did what I needed for me All right. And I have no resentment towards you. So whenever you are ready to forgive me, then I can accept that. So number 7, step number 7 is reconciliation and restoration, meaning to become friendly and peaceable again, which I just said. I love the phrase, we could duke it out and dap it up. We don't really have that no more. We don't really have that no more at all. You can't even duke it out.
Just shoot straight to
You know what I
shoot.
mean? Like either I'm gonna win or you gonna die. Yeah, how you want it?
Get it back in blood.
Yeah, crazy. And the 8th step is perfect union with Allah God and with each other. So if we can go through those steps of atonement, and that's what they was like harboring on. This purpose of the Million Man March was for atonement and reconciliation of the black man, so he could acknowledge so we could acknowledge one another, trust one another, union with one another, build with one another, and it starts with us. It starts with us, our communities, our nationalities, our homes. It starts with us. We need to make sure that we straight, because if we are the true leaders, right? If we are the leaders, then we are the examples. I don't see many people. I don't see many children. I don't know how to explain that one, but I don't see many children acting out because of, like, if mama and daddy there, I don't see many children acting out because that's what my mama would do. Most of the time it's what would daddy do. You know what I'm saying? I see it most of the time is what would daddy do. Daddy would fight. If mama would fight and daddy wouldn't, more than likely the child ain't gonna fight. It's like, why would if there's some moral to it and not the wimpish activity. But if like daddy like solid and stand his ground and like, I could talk it out because I'm not trying to go there with you, he's trying to be peaceful and stuff, then usually the child imitates that versus just out here fighting. And the fighting usually turns into self-defense. Those are usually the well-rounded and healthy-minded children that I see in today's society. So this was the purpose of the Million Man March, was for us to be better leaders, have more union with one another, actually come together. What does it look like? Obviously, there is a show. This is why representation matters, because we definitely can. Even if that's the base of what we see, is we definitely can come together. We definitely can be peaceful with one another. We can trust one another. We can listen to one another. We can hear one another, and we can build with one another. And you can't have community without communication. And that just showed the example of what I meant by that. So I commend them for it, and I resonate with it because I feel like I'm living that type of truth today.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to like transition to like our next topic. I know we got G. We gotta get G back to get the next topic and everything up. But everything that you said was spot on, Trey, and especially that whole unity aspect, man. I think it's so important for us to see that. We see us at odds. We see us back and forth. You know what I'm saying? We see the fighting. You know what I'm saying? But how often do we see on a large scale of us coming together? And so that's why that image is so important. And at some point, man, it's gonna come back around where we could come together and do something like that again. And people of all colors and things could come out to support the movement. All right. So put that out there.
My last thought, Trey, I appreciate the knowledge of, that the 8 steps to atonement, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Farrakhan laid out, even though I think like the first 5 kind of sounded the same, he could have narrowed it down to 4, and we are. But From what you spoke of it, I think people always ask the question, how can we overcome? I think that's the start right there. And, if we have that, like you said, that first step mastered, who knows, there's no limit to what we could do as a people. So that's my last thought on it.